Because I believe that one of the tragedies that has happened in the church is that we have not moved on from serving God. We have a religious idea of God at the top of a ladder that we're climbing to meet, sort of a Jacob's ladder kind of God. We've rested our head in the wilderness of life, and we go to sleep and have a dream of a ladder to heaven with angels ascending and descending in, and God standing at the top. And religion has you always moving up that ladder to meet God. And it's like we forgot that when Jesus came in the book of John and saw Nathanael standing under the tree and called him out, "Behold, an Israelite in whom is no guile." And Nathanael said, "You must be the one." Jesus said, "You believe I'm the one because I spotted you under a tree? You ain't seen nothing yet." He said, "The heavens are going to open and angels are going to ascend and descend upon the Son of Man." And in that text, Jesus takes the Jacob's ladder story and moves God from the top of the ladder to the bottom of the ladder. Angels ascend and descend upon Jesus. That means He's at the bottom. Because what Jesus was doing is saying, I'm here to take God from the top of your religion all the way down to the base level of where you are, because the heart of the Father has never been to stand at the top of a religious ladder so that you can climb your way up to Him. The heart of the Father has been to come down the ladder and give gifts to men and live amongst you so that you didn't have to go find Him at church or go find Him through a life of performance. All you had to do was look to your left or look to your right, or in a best case scenario in the New Covenant, Jesus couldn't say this to Nathanael yet because he hadn't died at Calvary, but to look inside and go look for Dad and where Dad resides. And so that makes shows us Jesus giving us access into a greater reality about who God is. And I think what's happened is for 2,000 years, religion has still concentrated on God. Christianity, for the most part, still references God as if we're Jewish and as if having Jesus gives us a leg up on Judaism. But you're not in the same religion. You're not in the same religion as Judaism. You're not working towards God. You're not hoping to someday go and meet Him, but you're living from a place of relationship. And so I think the tragedy that's happened in the church is that we've confined Him to God, but we haven't released Him to the people as Father. And as long as we keep referencing Him as God and confining Him as God, people are going to have a God's at the top of the ladder and I have to go meet Him mentality, and not a Father that came to me to show me what relationship looks like, which I think was His heart all along. And what happens is people end up in that cold place of atheism and being an agnostic because they see God in creative terms, big terms, and then as they get quote unquote mature and grow in knowledge and start to realize, well, maybe there's another answer to why these things exist, and maybe there's another reason why it doesn't have to be a creator God. There could be this explanation or that explanation. Because they never met God through relationship, they only had God through an education. And once they get out-educated in terms of God, they don't have any room left for God. This is what happens to a lot of people. It's because God has simply been some construct we're working up towards. Once greater levels of intelligence, so to speak, enter into our vernacular, there's nothing left to believe in God. And so what has to happen is, in Christianity, we have to graduate past the idea of seeing Him merely as God and begin to see Him as Father. But maybe we have to stop presenting Him to people as God and start presenting Him to people as Father. Because Jesus came, and in one of His final vocal prayers in the gospel, He said, Father, I came to reveal your name to my disciples. And yet His disciples are Jewish. They got all of the Jewish names of God licked. I'm always amazed when I see Christian teaching series on the Jewish names of God. Why do you need to approach God through a system where He's at the top of a ladder when you could approach Him in a system where He's at the bottom of the ladder as your dad? The name Jesus came to reveal was none of the names that had been revealed through Torah. None of the names that had been revealed through the Psalms and the prophets. The name Jesus came to reveal was Abba, Father. I can call you Dad. They get to call you Dad. And so let's don't go backwards to where we're approaching God as some distant entity. where we're understanding God in a relational manner, because I really believe that's the underpinning. It's sort of the ribbon of the Bible all the way through from Genesis. What God was really doing was establishing relationship.